general, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not too serious. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis. First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is First Things First, and you know what we do around here. My very first thing, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, from the ancestors, from the elders, and getting it going. So hour one, we usually look local, what's going on around here, left coast side, as we broadcast from Lamert Park, Africatown, USA. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive. Today, our deep dive is on Women's History Month, continuing this series, Heroes of Women's History, and we'll be joined by Professor Melina Abdullah, also known as Dr. Melina Abdullah, to talk about some of the women that we may know the names, but not the real true history, or we may know nothing about them at all. So we'll get some fuel in our historical tanks. And I think it's particularly important in the ahistorical times in which we live. Right now, I invite you in 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. You know it's a Talking Point Tuesday. So we will be joined by a young person, a young African-American man who may embody exactly what you're worried about in this 2024 election. Let me put it this way. He has some views that may make your hair stand on end, but it's important to understand how young folks are thinking and why we have to stop being in denial when it comes to our community and what's ahead in November. To open our eyes, we'll have a special guest in the second hour of the show. And of course, you're always invited in. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580, but especially now, because this moment, this hour is me, you, and the telephone, me, you, and the microphone, me, you, and the YouTube at KBLA 1580. That's where you can hop in, see me, talk to your fellow chat room hangouters, and also, just listen to the show. You can listen to past episodes that you may have missed on YouTube. You can also get them anywhere you find podcasts. Just simply type in KBLA 1580, type in me, Dominique DiPrima, or the show that you're looking for, and you will find it there. We've got some great episodes on tap. Actually, over 1,000 of them now for First Things First alone. I don't know how many Tavis has. He might have a lot, but I have actually well surpassed 1,000 by now, so there's plenty of great conversations to choose from. And there's some interesting things happening. I know that I kind of took a break yesterday from looking at election issues because I wanted to get this conversation with the labor commissioner in front of you. And if you missed that, you might want to listen, because we talked about what are your rights as a worker, your rights as an employer. And a lot of them were things you may not know. Many of them are things I didn't even know. But so let's circle back a little bit to the election and some of the results, which are still changing as votes are being counted. I've got updates here from the registrar recorder as of yesterday afternoon, which is the last count. But there are still some movement in, maybe obviously not in the U.S. Senate race, but in other races that are quite interesting, including the 14th City Council District, which, of course, is currently led by disgraced, racist, anti-renter, anti-indigenous, anti-LGBTQ plus council member Kevin De Leon. That field is shifting before our very eyes, as are some of these judicial seats. So really, really interesting to see how things move. I didn't expect so much movement, and there's still a chance, it looks like, that Nithya Raman could win her city council seat outright. Votes still being counted. At the moment, she appears to be headed to a runoff, but the trend line is moving in her favor. That would be a good thing because she's a progressive city council person who has been targeted by the police union and other conservative groups with deep pockets who don't like her policies, don't like the fact that she vetoed, or didn't veto because she didn't have veto power. She voted against the mayor's budget and the massive raises for police officers. So she's been specifically targeted with a lot of dollars. And so if she's able to slip by in this race, that would be a big deal. Also, some of the assembly races shuffling still as we speak. But hey, he called early, so he should be thus rewarded. He called 800-920-1580. You can do the same. Talking about Fred from Crenshaw. Good morning, Fred.
Oh, good morning, Sister Dominique. How you doing, my sister?
All is well. Did you know that you're now labeled the bad Fred? There's another Fred.
You know what? I want to talk to you about that. See, because you know me, I'm gonna put it down. See, I'm really the good Fred. The caller that you had a couple of days ago is a bad Fred. The reason why I say I'm a good Fred is because I keep up with the politics. I think I told you some time ago. I've been following politics since '73 when Bradley got the mayorship from President Sam Yorty, and I was so glad for the first time we finally got a black mayor for the city of L.A., and we could have had Bradley as our first black governor. If you will recall back then, Duke Mason got one, I call him flunkies, got on the radio and told people that the polls close at 7. That is not right. The polls don't close until 8. A lot of blacks don't get off until 7. When they heard that on the radio, they turned right around and went back home. And that was so disappointing. But the black superintendent, he's already put in the paper he plans to run for a nuisance. He'll be termed out.
You're talking about Tony Thurman, yeah. Tony Thurman, yeah.
Yeah, Tony Thurman, yeah. And then anyway, I'm in the union 721, and hopefully our union's going to be doing phone banking. And the presidential race, we have to take a clear look at this. I was watching MSNBC this morning. If Trump gets in, he's not going to give no money to Ukraine. He wants to get rid of unions. He wants to get rid of overtime pay. He want to get rid of a lot of our civil rights. And I know you have I know you're not. Guilty until you go through a court of law, but look, the E. Joe Carroll case, and now he's trying to get the case thrown out about Willis. You know, I really don't think this was really, really, I don't think myself have anything on this, but what Willis could do, she could appeal it to the state attorney general. So all these elections are important. There is no way in the world I want to have crackpot up there. We've had him for 4 years. It's going to be a nightmare on Elm Street. So it's like my dad used to say, you're one of two people. Say if you want to go forward, you go with Biden. You want to go backward, you go with Trump. I'll take my comments from you, sister.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. A lot of stuff that you got in there. So if the other Fred is the good Fred, maybe you have to be the real good Fred.
Real deal. Well, hey, say, don't I have a nickname. They call me Ready Freddy because I stay ready.
Okay. Ready Freddy. Got it.
Ready. Can you dig it?
I dig it. I love it.
There you go. All right, my sis, you have a blessed one. I'm gonna try to get on Tuesdays or Thursdays, and you have a blessed day and your whole crew.
Yeah, and you as well. Yeah, well, Fred was saying some things that could be considered talking points because a talking point doesn't have to be untrue. Many talking points are actually true. We just have to make sure they are, number one, true, and number two, that they serve our interests. That's a colleague was on my Instagram this morning talking about he hopes Nathan Hochman wins for district attorney because Hochman, we deserve a better DA. That, to me, is the kind of talking point where you're saying a thing because you've heard a lot of people saying it, and maybe he'll clap back with some actual logic. But it sounded like a regurgitated talking point because what District Attorney George Gascon has done so far, of course, he's had some stumbles as far as his style of being a DA, but also the incredible amount of opposition he has faced from within his own office, as well as the people who immediately started working on a recall the minute he stepped into office, maybe even before. But what he's delivered is a lot of what we, the voters, asked him to deliver. So what is that talking point? We deserve a better DA. No, what we deserve to have progressive prosecutors allowed to execute the agenda that the voters put them in office to execute. We deserve to have what we vote in not be obstructed by police unions, DA's unions, individuals suing, and talking points. One of the talking points against DA Gascon is that no one's going to jail. That's pure bunk. Why are we having so much trouble closing the jail then? Why are our courts packed full every day with people getting sentenced? That is a talking point that does not reflect the reality. And I get that people feel less safe, and I hope that you feel more safe. But again, violent crime is down. Like assaults, murders, the kind of thing we worry about happening to us. Those kinds of crimes, those are down. So the one of the biggest gaps between reality and the talking points is in the race for district attorney. And I would really ask that you do some soul searching and make sure you're not just saying stuff because somebody else said it, right? That is the whole point of Talking Point Tuesday. DA George Gascon has actually held some police officers accountable for killing people in our community. Isn't that what we were marching for in 2020? He has eliminated the use of the death penalty. Isn't that one of the progressive planks for progressive DAs? If it's not, it should be, but certainly it was in 2020, a time when we realized that the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office was sending more people to death row than any other DA's office in California. And all of those people were either black or Latino. There were 0 white folks being sent to death row. How is that possible? How is that possible? They commit the same kinds of crimes that everybody else does. Bias in the system. It's one of the main reasons why we ask for the death penalty to go away. And the reforms go on. And there are things that we have asked for. Not trying children as adults. Now he's backed down from that policy, and in rare cases, a panel of experts could decide to try a child as an adult. That's a bridge too far for me. Children are not adults. But that was under pressure from people who felt that in certain egregious cases, children should be tried as adults. Our DA has delivered what we asked for the most part, in the midst of fierce opposition. And to me, what we deserve is a DA who gets to do their job. That's what we deserve, to push back on that talking point, to push back on the untrue talking points. The crime is up under our DA, and that, in fact, no one is going to jail. If it's your goal for people to go to jail, you should be real happy because they are. 800-920-1580 if you want to weigh in on this or any other topic. On a Talking Point Tuesday, I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Hey Californians, are you ready to make your home ownership dreams come true? The California Dream for All Shared Appreciation Loan Program might be for you. First-generation homebuyers can get down payment and closing cost assistance along with a first mortgage to help you unlock the door of your new home. Applications open in April, so talk to an approved lender to see if you're eligible. Find out more at calhfa.ca.gov/dream or call 877-922-5432. A message from the California Housing Finance Agency.
I'm going out with the girls this weekend. Nails done, outfit stunner, and my skin? I know it's going to be glowing because I glammed up my shower routine with new Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. It smells so luxurious and moisturizes deep into my skin with its super rich, creamy lather that's bursting with vitamin B3. So my skin glows and my confidence grows. Try new Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash for glowing skin in just 14 days.
If you're looking for the most epic place on Earth, let's start at the base of a massive waterfall. Then trek through the thick jungle. Then climb to the peak of a snowy mountaintop. Then once you get there, keep going. Because with intelligent 4x4 and 7 drive modes and a Nissan Pathfinder, the search is the real adventure.
Available feature. Intelligent 4x4 cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
If you're looking for the most epic place on Earth, let's start at the base of a massive waterfall. Then trek through the thick jungle. Then climb to the peak of a snowy mountaintop. Then once you get there, keep going. Because with intelligent 4x4 and 7 drive modes and a Nissan Pathfinder, the search is the real adventure.
Available feature. Intelligent 4x4 cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Don't shave with that, son. You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops. I'm good with Gillette's Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard anyway? You know Mama hates it.
Yeah, had it since my last wet shave in '77. Got ingrown so bad, looked like I was growing a patch of new noses.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturize, so I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
It does continue. Fred called 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. You can do the same. I always love to hear from you. And it is the Talking Point Tuesday. Boy, there's a lot of them that we could debunk, and let's do that. I love to hear the ones that bug you the most. Yeah, but right now we're going to Ron calling us from Richmond. Good morning, sir.
My Bay Area homegirl, Dominique DiPrima, is in the building. Good morning. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you?
Yes, same. Blessed and thankful to be here. You know, trying my best to stay healthy. My A1C is a little bit off track, so I got to get that back on point. But I'm thankful to be here, though. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah, taking care of the one and only body that God gave us is more than a notion.
Yeah, no. Oh, real quick, I want to say you might have heard about it. We lost another hip hop giant on yesterday. Want to say big R.I.P. to the female rapper Boss one time. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know who she is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That album. Ooh, she was one of the hardest females I ever heard in my life. I put her up there with NWA. That's how nice she was on that mic. So, yeah, big rest in peace to her. My condolences out to her son. I didn't know she had children. I just found her. I found her son.
She's young though. How's she dead?
I think she was 54. They said apparently she had some kind of condition that had to do with her kidneys. I think she had it for a while, and she was trying to. I guess apparently she was.
I just feel like rappers are dropping like flies, whether it be like shootings or diseases or I don't know. It just seems like maybe it's getting reported on more because hip hop is more mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Apparently she has some kind of condition. I don't really. It's called. It starts with an R. Something about retinal disease or something like that.
Oh yeah. I think that is kidney failure, right?
Kidney failure. Yeah. And then I guess I could be wrong. I think she had a while back. She had started up a GoFundMe thing. She was trying to raise money to have a kidney transplant done, but I guess she couldn't.
Yeah, you're right. Renal disease. I just Googled it. She was 46.
Disease,
46. How do you?
Okay, now help me out. Okay,
that's
I've been
crazy.
I've been seeing reports saying she was 54.
Well, who knows? This says 46.
46. Yeah, because it says she was. Yeah, because it says she was born in 69.
Okay. Well, I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah.
She
was young. Yeah, she was young.
I mean,
feel what you're saying.
Either one it's pretty young to be dying from kidney failure. But like you said, maybe it's a congenital something she was born with.
Yeah.
One thing about you, Ron, you gonna track hip hop folks, and you're gonna give them love, and I appreciate that about you. Yeah. Yeah.
This just what I do, man. I love music. I'm always, digging in the crates looking for I be hitting the Goodwills up looking for CDs,
really?
records, all that, man. I just grew up, here in the Bay listening to the old school.
Oh my gosh, you should give me your address. I'll send you all my CDs.
Hey,
I have so many.
You would bug out if you could see my CD collection now. You would be like Just Sunday, I found a copy of the Brand Nubians' first album at the Goodwill.
Wow,
now, that's rare that you find hip hop, real hip hop like that.
And that was
Goodwill,
a CD.
A CD, Brand Nubian, the very first album, One for All.
Yep,
that's a classic.
I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, thank you very much. Y'all keep giving them away. I'll take them.
Wow. Yeah. Well, if you want several large crates, give me your address.
Hey, we might have to hook that up.
To me, it's like put it in the computer and keep it pushing.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm trying to graduate to the computer age and learn how to download my music and to the digital. That's what everybody's doing now.
Yeah, my friend Sasha, who went on our last Africa trip, convinced me to take all the boxes and throw them away and at least put them in like a book, so that they take up less space because they were taking up my whole garage. Yeah.
Wow.
Because back in the day when you were on the radio or on TV, they would give you a lot of music. Record companies aren't like they used to be back then, but I had so many just random, I still do actually, random hip hop CDs and R&B CDs because over the years, the labels would give them to you, send them to you. People would come on the show. They'd let you have them, and I just have. Maybe they should be in a museum. But it sounds like you got your own little museum going, so.
Me and my
Want several thousand CDs, Ron.
Oh, you probably laughing. You be laughing at me, calling me a hoarder right now. The stuff I got over here.
Well, as long as it's just music, it doesn't necessarily count as hoarding. When you start keeping random useless things that clog up your whole house. But look, we're up against this news, traffic, and sports. It's a hard stop. And thanks for bringing that to my attention. I missed that somehow. It's great to talk to you, as always, Ron from Richmond.
Yeah, I thank you, and I appreciate you. If you get a chance, if you didn't see it, check out the video Jimmy Kimmel posted. It was him and Robert De Niro was talking about Trump a little bit on the show.
Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, that sounds like a good one. All right, good to talk to you. News, traffic, sports, and then more of your phone calls, and we'll unpack these election results when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A new report says the U.S. government must act quickly to avoid the risks of artificial intelligence. Those risks range from national security threats to, in a theorized extreme case, an extinction-level threat to the human species. The report commissioned by the State Department was released on Monday. It was compiled after talking with more than 200 government employees, experts, and workers at cutting-edge AI companies. The new Kobe Bryant statue outside LA's Crypto.com arena already needs some adjustments. Lakers officials say they've been made aware of several errors in the marble base of the statue, including the misspellings of at least 2 players. The 19-foot statue has become a popular gathering spot for Lakers fans before the games. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Can't wait weeks for your tax refund? Then don't. At Jackson Hewitt, get money today if you're approved for a no-fee refund advance loan on a prepaid card. Book today at jacksonhewitt.com. No-fee refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Is this the tiger? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
NAACP President Derek Johnson is asking black student athletes in high school and college to reconsider attending colleges in the state of Florida. Johnson's request is in response to a decision by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to eliminate funding for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at all state-funded colleges in Florida. On March 1st, the University of Florida ended its DEI program, which eliminated jobs of 15 people at the university. Johnson also sent a letter Monday to NCAA President Charlie Baker expressing his concerns. Johnson hopes his message reaches a lot of black student athletes, especially high school athletes who are being recruited by the University of Florida and other Florida schools. If black student athletes and their parents embrace Johnson's message, athletic programs in Florida will face some very tough consequences. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in celebrating Women's History Month. I'm Dominique DiPrima. Join me and Black Lives Matter Los Angeles for a reclamation in honor of Breonna Taylor called Black Women Are Divine. There'll be food, music, performances, and healing services with a special performance by Aloe Black. I'll be your MC, and it's all free. Black Women Are Divine is a space for black women, girls, and femmes to receive love and healing, and for others to express their appreciation. Many of the 33 Black Lives Matter grassroots chapters across the nation are participating in this honoring of the memory of Breonna Taylor on the anniversary of her death. The BLMLA event is taking place on Sunday, March 17th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Norman O. Houston Park at 4800 South La Brea in Los Angeles. The park at the Summit. For special parking options and more information, visit blmla.org. Say her name, Breonna Taylor, and join us in loving on black women. Happy Women's History Month from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
Psst. Hey, I have a secret. I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant because more than just my armpits stink.
Oh, can I use it where my bra rubs under my...
Oh, yeah.
And what about down there? You know, my...
Totally. 4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend it. So I tried it, and now I get 72 hours of freshness. From my pits to my...
Ooh, I love that it's a spray.
Me too. And it comes in sticks and creams too. Go get your Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
LADWP is proud to partner with KBLA to share with you how to start the new year without bill worries. We're here to help if you're behind on your bill or need help staying current. Sign up anytime online for Level Pay to set predictable monthly payments throughout the year, including for past due amounts. You can also check out the special extended pay arrangements of up to 48 months to help pay down your bill. If you're a senior or income qualified, you may be eligible for Easy Save to receive discounts and also qualify for free and discounted energy and water saving devices. You can get up to $15,000 for past due water and or sewer bills and up to $3,000 for electric bills. But you gotta act fast. Funding is limited. You can reduce your past due bills and kick off the year right, because here at LADWP, we're here to help. Visit ladwp.com/cares today and find out more.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that for Bree's car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Bree's car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy for Breeze. La 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 la.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, so according to Ben Frank, she was 54 years old. Like I said, still too young to be dying of renal failure. Okay, so also yesterday I was on Instagram and Sway, my old friend Sway, the TV host, legendary TV host. Actually, I believe I am almost 100% sure that I was the first person to put Sway on TV, to ever interview Sway. But anyway, he was promoting a GoFundMe for Rappin' Forte. Apparently, Rappin' Forte went in the hospital in December. Rappin' Forte, another rapper from the Bay Area, and he apparently is fighting for his life, and there's a GoFundMe now for his medical bills. Sway put that on his page. So if you want to support, I think it's great. So many artists, people in these spaces do not have insurance, don't have the kind of end-of-life support or support for serious disease. It's not just rappers and artists, by the way. It's people in general, which is why I believe in Medicare for all. But nevertheless, certainly this is an issue for artists. And so if you feel like going on Sway's IG and donating to, I think every dollar makes a difference. Let's go to Polly calling us from LA. Good morning. Hey, Polly, you there?
Hey, good morning, Dominique. Sorry about that.
No worries. What's on your mind?
So it was a couple of things I wanted to discuss to kind of follow up from yesterday's conversation, if it's okay with you. Just touch a couple points.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so there's a situation right now with Robert Hur, who is the special counsel that was appointed by Merrick Garland, AG Merrick Garland, which is a mess because he essentially appointed this guy who is far-right, Trumpist.
Yeah, I never understood that. Why would Merrick Garland do that? Like, sometimes I think there's something wrong with him. Like, maybe he's one of those, Democrats or people in the world that tries so hard to prove that they're being fair that they end up messing over their own side of the aisle. Either that or he's slow. I'm not sure which one it is.
I would argue that a lot of what we're going through now is because he's allowed, people to push him around and everything into those positions.
Mm-hmm. Makes you wonder if he would have been so great on the Supreme Court after all.
Exactly. It would have been the same. But so what happened is Hur just yesterday dropped, he basically left the DOJ.
Right, so he can talk smack when he goes in front of Congress. I mean, because apparently if you work for the Department of Justice, there are restrictions on what you can say, but if you don't, you can while out. And he's supposed to have a hearing today, right?
But check this out, though. So what ended up happening, and this is also some of the, the passing the baton to some of the younger gems, because the Democrats have a lot of gems in a big bench. So what ended up happening as a kind of to counter the narrative is the Democratic, because they're doing a hearing today with him.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Transcripts.
Mm-hmm.
They released the transcripts, and there's an excerpt from it, right? That's getting like a lot of pub right now. I'll just read it real quick.
Oh, they released it. Wait a minute. They released Biden's transcripts of the interview with her?
Yeah.
Now that I did not see. Because,
so here's the key
okay.
Right
uh-huh.
So what month did Bew die? Oh, God. May 20th, Mr. Biden asked the room. No, excuse me, May 30th, Mr. Biden asked the room. A White House lawyer responds 2015. Was it 2015 he had died? The president asked. An unidentified person in the room replies, it was May of 2015. Mr. Biden agrees it was 2015, he said. So with showing that excerpt is, no, he did not forget when his son passed away. He knew that. But what Hur did is he went outside of what he was appointed to do a political hack job on the situation. And I would argue, Dominique, all of this has to do with who is the vice president of this country right now, and who's next in line to be the president. If something was to happen to Joe Biden.
I agree. Yeah.
This is what all of this has to do with, and for a lot of people that like to try to control a narrative on the vice president, I will tell people when Kamala Harris was the AG of the state of California, she did a lot of good. And I'm very upset that the party, and some of it's Dems too, let's not act like it's not some of these Dems sending these hit pieces on VP Harris also.
Oh, yeah, it's Dems. It's really fashionable among black men in particular to bash Kamala Harris. And I believe that is partly generated by bots. I believe it is partly generated by talking points, which are based on things that aren't true or are partially true. And it's just become, with the internet, once you become sort of fashionable to kick around, that picks up steam and takes on a life of its own. But it's really problematic. It's exactly the kind of talking points we say that undermine ourselves. I also think it's worth pointing out that this guy, Robert Kyung-Hur, who is the special counsel, was until he stepped down in a very suspicious manner, is a Republican. There's no mystery about that. He is a Republican. And why you would decide that you think it's a good idea to invite a Republican, to investigate your president, it just doesn't make sense. These are the kinds of things, Polly, that Republicans that don't do. The Democrats like to shoot ourselves in the foot. And I hate this. I feel like we're moving away from doing that so much, but I think in this case, Merrick Garland is the poster child for this kind of stuff.
I agree, and just I want to hit on something. When Tulsi Gabbard, during those Democratic primaries, when she said that VP Harris was directly responsible for putting black men in jail, and how that narrative has stuck around, I just want to highlight things for listeners right now. So back in 2016, Kamala Harris released the Back on Track Los Angeles report, a blueprint for public-private partnerships to reduce recidivism. So within the program, the goal of the program was to reintegrate people back into society, especially black men. So when I hear these stereotypes, it's because they're essentially bashing her because they are afraid that this black woman could become president. And that's why you always hear a lot of the Biden age issue. That's why you hear a lot of the Biden age. He's old. Trump isn't young either. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, between the two, Biden's in much better shape than Trump is. So let's not act like that we're not paying attention to what's really going on here, because they're concerned if something happens to Joe, who then is next in line to be the president?
Yeah, I think that is absolutely the case. although the talking points against Kamala Harris started before she became vice president. I remember those same talking points when she was trying to become a senator, a U.S. senator, when she was trying to become the state attorney general. I think some of it really is bots, and I think some of it is a misinformation campaign. To your point, I always say this, Kamala Harris was a prosecutor. So yes, she prosecuted people, but she was actually considered to be a progressive prosecutor who did some, aside from, the program that you're pointing out, a number of other programs. Now there was, the big deal was made about her, truancy proposal where she, was penalizing parents for kids not going to school. If a Republican did that, they'd say it was, the right thing to do. I don't agree with that, but I asked her about it when she was running for the U.S. Senate, and she made a convincing argument that they didn't actually jail parents. It was a threat of that because she really felt like she needed to find ways to make sure these children were, that every effort was made for these children to go to school. I really think that she has been targeted in a very specific way, partly because folks don't want her to be president, and partly because of who she is. I mean, did you see her in the Supreme Court hearings? Her prosecutor hat came out. She is brilliant. And
brilliant.
She's brilliant. She's well qualified. And folks, and when I hear black people, especially black men, saying, well, she's not black enough because her, mother is Indian American. Man, we mix with so many things. Do you know who's in your family tree? Number one. Number two, her mother was an activist, a progressive activist who marched for civil rights. So many of these things are just outright not true and absolutely are hit jobs on the vice president.
I agree. Dominique, and just one more thing. Thank you for your time, the time of having this discussion. I just really want to kind of wake everyone up to just in general for, economic empowerment within our black community and how our dollar needs to be recycled within our businesses and everything. All this, at the end of the day, there's a Nielsen report recently that said that black people watch essentially the most television, right? And the two top things that we watch, number one was cop shows, and then number two was reality TV. Our culture, we allow others to monetize off of our culture, and our dollar's not circulating. So support the local black business, promote the local black business. Our ears and eyes should be supporting ours because at the end of the day, this is the United States of business. And if you pay attention to everything that's going on, we get upset with things that are as they are, but we don't do the things that are necessary. Your council meetings, your school board meetings. Where are we? I go to those things and I don't see us involved in our communities. We have to re-strengthen and rebuild our relationships amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Come back together.
Well, I mean, I agree with that, but I also don't agree with that because on the one hand, I really feel like when we come together, when we work together, which many of us are doing every day, that's not ever going to be the lead story on CNN, MSNBC, and definitely not Fox News. I do agree with you about TV. I think it's one of the reasons for the gap that we see in terms of our educational outcomes. We watch more TV than any other group. And Latinos come in second. White people come in third. Asian people come in last. Isn't it interesting that that's the same order of our educational outcomes? I'm not saying that there's not more to it. There's definitely funding, resources, there's discrimination against black students. All of that plays a role, but definitely our overconsumption of pure junk on television, junk food for our brains, is part of the problem. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
Hi, I'm Dominique DiPrima, inviting you to join me at the City of Hawthorne's Business Expo and Job Fair, presented by Hawthorne City Councilwoman Katrina Manning. Explore great opportunities with leading national and local companies and participate in panel discussions with top entrepreneurs such as Goose the Barber, Camille C. Terry, and special guest speaker Danny Bakewell Jr., president of the LA Sentinel. So please join me and Council Member Katrina Manning on Thursday, March 14th from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Hawthorne Memorial Center at 3901 West El Segundo Boulevard in Hawthorne for the Hawthorne Business Expo and Job Fair. That's Thursday, March 14th, the City of Hawthorne's Business Expo and Job Fair. Visit their website at hawthornebusinessexpo.org or call 310-349-2908. That's 310-349-2908 to register. It's absolutely free and open to the public. I'll see you there.
Imagine with me here for a minute the most beautiful panoramic setting. Maybe it's an endless ocean, waves crashing on a beach, or a crystal clear mountain lake, peaceful and quiet. Or maybe it's just little kids playing in the park down the street. Wherever your imagination takes you, now imagine right smack in the middle of this perfect picture, a piece of litter. Just one piece right there in the middle of it all. Doesn't exactly fit, does it? In fact, even though it's just one piece, now it's all you can see. That one piece ruins everything. And that's the thing about litter. It doesn't take much to ruin everything. One thing's for sure, it simply does not belong anywhere in California. So here's the good news. If we work together, we will change it. We don't have to let litter, even just one piece, ruin your perfect picture. Not anymore, not ever again. Clean California, zero litter is the goal. Brought to you by Caltrans and CleanCA.com.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Yeah, another thing I'd say on a Talking Point Tuesday about Kamala Harris, when she was DA in San Francisco, she had a case where there was a police officer who was killed. I don't have the details right in front of me, but I remember it clearly. The police unions and all of those law enforcement groups wanted her to seek the death penalty for the person that killed this cop. And because of mitigating circumstances, she declined to seek the death penalty in that case. After that, she was targeted by law enforcement groups. And that's something you don't hear about a lot. But it is foundational to why she has been under such attack since her days as a prosecutor. And it's ironic because the rap is that she only locks up black men, but in reality, the real reason that she got hit so hard was for declining to seek the death penalty in a particular case. Well, more on that later. I mean, not later today, but later as we continue to talk, because I think it is important. That's she's been one of the biggest people to take those hits. Okay, I'm never going to get to all these results that I wanted to talk to you about, but I do want to say that, which is great. I mean, always happy when you call because we can talk about these things another day. But in the 14th Council District, of Los Angeles City Council, Isabel Jurado has pulled into second place. Now, she is a real progressive. She has a strong ground game. She's backed by, our most fierce community-based organizations here in Los Angeles. She is actually an advocate for renters, and this could be very bad news for Kevin De Leon, which of course is good news for America. Bad news for disgraced council member Kevin De Leon is good news for everybody else, right? People that, don't want to live in a city that puts up with a racist, a blatant, outright anti-renter, anti-indigenous person sitting on the city council. Now, Miguel Santiago is also a great opponent. He's an assembly member. He was in second place, but as the counting continues, Jurado has moved into second place. Will that hold? We don't know. Either one of them would be preferable to Kevin De Leon, but it's certainly an exciting development that as the counting continues, Jurado is now actually closing in on De Leon. She's pulled a couple points ahead of Santiago. If this trend line holds, she may end up being the number one vote getter in Council District 14. They are currently 20-something votes apart. Okay, my math is slow. 26, not 2,600. 26 people is the difference in Council District 14 as the counting continues. If Jurado gets another 27 votes, she pulls ahead of De Leon. These are those moments to me that remind us that your vote counts. I mean, I've made this example before, but 26 people, 27 people, all of us know 27 people that we could probably influence to go to the polls, right? Between family, friends, frenemies, exes, you could come up with 27 people, co-workers. If the trend line continues and she's able to come up with another 27 votes, it's probably more than that because De Leon will keep getting a few. So let's say she needs 30 votes or 35. She will end up being the top vote getter in the 14th district. And it's going to be interesting to see whether the press, they're tracking that she's gaining on him, but whether we're going to make as big a deal as of her being the top vote getter as we did of him being the top vote getter, and I believe we should, because unlike Miguel Santiago and Wendy Carrillo, who are both statewide office holders state office holders, not statewide, because they weren't elected by the whole state. They were elected by their district. But still, they sit in Sacramento in the assembly. Isabel Jurado, if I remember correctly, has never held public office. She is an advocate for renters and a progressive, an organizer. And you can hear her... her interview. It's up on our website. If you want to listen to KDL, you're going to have to listen to Tavis's old interview with them because he didn't talk to us. He did not respond to the email, and that works for me. In any case, this is interesting. It shows you how, important it is to wait for all the votes to be counted. I certainly didn't before I started lamenting. Again, this is bad news for De Leon because it kind of tracks with a progressive wave that we see in the LA City Council. The Hugo Soto Martinez, the Nithya Ramans, the Eunices Hernandezes. And if Jurado follows that path, De Leon will be out on his backside. We're doing Talking Point Tuesday next with our special guest and you. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A new report says the U.S. government must act quickly to avoid the risks of artificial intelligence. Those risks range from national security threats to, in a theorized extreme case, an extinction-level threat to the human species. The report commissioned by the State Department was released on Monday. It was compiled after talking with more than 200 government employees, experts, and workers at cutting-edge AI companies. The new Kobe Bryant statue outside LA's Crypto.com arena already needs some adjustments. Lakers officials say they've been made aware of several errors in the marble base of the